We can see Union troops running on the streets right now. And here come Confederate trucks. Plenty of them. I mean, it's a never-ending line of reinforcements. These guys have traveled for hours to get here. But the troops have arrived. This is so cool. And I think I might as well tell you now, some of these Confederate Zouaves have a brand new semi-automatic rifle with a 10-round magazine. Let's see if you guys can guess which one it is. I'm gonna try and give you guys a good look. It kind of looks a bit like a regular bolt-action rifle with a huge magazine. It's hard to describe. It's visible every now and then. So if you can guess which one it is, I'd say congrats. It's got a pretty special name. It's not a very known rifle. I didn't know of it before. But that firepower in having a semi-automatic 10-round rifle is going to be humongous. So all the Confederate Zouaves have dismounted now, and they will start engaging the Union Marines. Currently just a block away. There's just about a street separating the two factions right now. The landings are completed. No more infantry will be landing. As you can tell, the boats have been removed. They've left the shore. They've unloaded all the infantry they can. Just wounded remaining. But let's head back here to the action. We're going to take a quick look at the left flank, where Union Marines are still trying to get up to the fence. There's a few city guards here still holding the perimeter, but there's very few. This is one brave rifleman still holding off the Union Marines advancing. And what's next? Well, that's the long advance up the hill here, up the slope, and to attack the building defenders outside the residence. I'm sure this was some kind of governor's residence. I mean, it's the state capitol building, right? Confederate howitzer has been brought up as well. But so far, they seem to be safe. I think the Union Marines have larger concerns right now, which would be the insane number of Confederate Zouaves arriving to reinforce. Had they arrived later, the Union Marines could have captured the building and been sitting much more safely on top of the high ground. Now they have quite a struggle ahead of them. It's always nice to see the officers really take the lead, even though it usually leads to them being shot. We do have a few brave enlisted men running up behind, doing what they can. The streets of Richmond, Virginia will never be the same. That's one thing, that's for sure. Confederate Zouaves doing good, holding down this street, taking plenty of casualties as well. But there should be hundreds of them unloading from all these trucks. I mean, it's just a never-ending line of trucks carrying a dozen men each. Not even some of the ruins can be left standing. And then they will be brought down by artillery. It does, however, look like the Marine attack here on the Confederate right side has kind of come to a halt. It's all quiet here. It just feels like they can't muster enough manpower to get up the hill. I mean, it's a fairly... I mean, there's not a lot of men defending. Yeah, they do have a few machine guns here that might have done its work. But, you know, a platoon or a company of Union Marines could easily overthrow these guys. Easily. I mean, it's just getting up the hill that's hard. But right now they're being held back. There's just a small number of Confederates holding their ground here, not allowing anyone up the fence. That's crazy. Or even up this street. Back here on the left side, seen from the Confederate perspective, the Zouaves are still holding the Marines back. But I gotta tell you, the Marines are not giving up. Grenades are being thrown. absolute brutal exchange of fire here on this street. Every inch matters, and they're holding every corner down. Supporting machine gun fire, lighting up the brick wall of this building. That's pretty awesome. Doing what they can to hit the Union troops on the opposite side. They're literally wall to wall. Yeah, that's gonna make him think twice about attacking up that street. Union artillery can't fire any further because, well, first of all, I don't really think they have any radio operators at the time. They'd have radio stations, but whatever the point is, like, it would be danger close calling in artillery, so they had it at the start when they knew what the Confederate positions definitely were. Now, after all this fighting, it's too risky to call in any supporting Union artillery, so they have to do without it for now. There's more fighting on the left side now. But it's quieted down so much here. Even though a lot of Union Marines made it past the street onto the next level, it died down so quickly. I think maybe a lot of them were attracted to the right here after the Zouaves arrived. The Zouaves have definitely put a halt to the Union advance, but I can definitely say they haven't won them the battle yet. That's so awesome. Well, one thing's for sure, the Confederate artillery can fire without too much remorse. Wow. Fire! And of course, they stop firing when I say so. But anyway. That's gonna definitely... Yeah, see, the Union Marines are literally disengaging. They're falling back. The few remaining Union Marines on this side are falling back. There's no officer to lead them. They're heading back to the shore. It's safer there if anyone's going to come and get them. They might even try and swim across again. But they've stopped the assault on the left side. How's it going here on the right? They're trying to advance. This street is still under mainly Zouave control, but definitely Confederate, of course. So the troops have started moving left again. Getting closer to some buildings here to use them as cover. But there's a Confederate machine gun back here. Kind of blind firing beyond the bushes, but definitely suppressing the Union Marines trying to get through. This is kind of like the Washington battle, surprisingly, where, you know, the Washington D.C. battle, where the Confederates looked so strong and they were pushing ahead, and I was like, yeah, they're definitely gonna win this. And then just towards the end, the attack stopped. They couldn't muster enough. They couldn't muster it. Like, there was machine guns and artillery holding them back. I wouldn't say machine guns and artillery is holding the Union back today. That's definitely just been losing too much manpower. And now some of the capital... It's called the Capitol, right? The Capitol building of Richmond? Hold up. Yeah. The Capitol building, Richmond. Virginia State Capitol. Yeah. But what's the park called? I don't think it's Green Park. That's a different park.
Remember, we're here to destroy any artillery we find in the area.
No, you're not. No, that's not Green Park. That's just a park. That's just Capitol Square or whatever. The Green Park is further left. Way further left, I think. I don't even know if it was around at that time, but Green Park is... I don't even know what Green Park is, really. It's just not it. That's all I can say. So, anyway. So they're holding this down. There's actually a few Zouaves that came up here that have now moved down to kind of counter the... I mean, I don't know, clean up a bit. Shoot off any wounded. In pain, suffering on the street. I mean, it sounds horrible. But guys, I think we can kind of wrap this attack up now. It's definitely come to an end. There's just... Look, we got like Zouaves and other What are these? Yeah. Confederate Zouaves flanking around. This guy's got a heavy-ass revolver. It's just awesome street combat. Anyway, guys, let's mark the... We're going to do what we did to the Confederates last time, because it would make sense this time around. We're going to get the poor remaining Union troops who suffered so greatly today fighting so bravely. I mean, there's probably more than we think, but we're going to get them to retreat. Pretty shitty Confederate marksmanship right there. Not really hitting anyone on their way out, but anyway, the Union Marines are going to cover their buddies heading out too. So anyway, let's have a quick look at casualties, and let's see what's what today. Well, we're going to mark the Confederate casualties in red and Union casualties in yellow, and you can tell what an absolute slaughter it has been from the absolute start. Over here on the bottom left side of the screen, these alleyways and open streets have been a disaster for the attacking Union Marines. Some of the, building corners and more pockets of defenses have cost the Confederates a lot of casualties, but significantly less than the Union Marines. Many have died here on the bottom of the river as well. I mean, there's probably a good 120 men dead here, just like on the riverbank, because it was such a daring assault, but oh my god, they almost did it. They almost pulled through. They almost got up to the fence, but not quite. They pulled back. I mean, they lost manpower, too much of it, and were too suppressed by a pretty small number of defenders here holding the wall. All in all, amazing battle, and northern Richmond remains in Confederate control. And I gotta tell you, so what the current state is that the Union guys are now fortifying Washington, D.C., of course, sending reinforcements, but the Confederates are still on the border of the city. They're on the outskirts. They still have the Capitol building centered, of course, so that's a stalemate. The Union troops have pulled back to the southern side of Richmond, but they still hold that part of the state and city. So, what happens next? You guys let me know down in the comment section below. Be sure to leave a like and a comment if you guys want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon again. Ciao.